What is going on, guys? It is Steven, your semi-comprehensive reviewer here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the AirPods Pro Gen 2. These guys are the sequel to the widely successful AirPods Pro Gen 1. And at first glance you might be wondering what is actually different about these guys compared to the Gen 1s. So in this video we're going to play a little game of Spot the Difference. We're going to go over what is new and improved in these earbuds and whether you should upgrade to the AirPods Pro Gen 2.
So the main difference you'll notice right off the bat on the Gen 2s is on the case. So on the right side there's now a little loop if you want to attach a strap or some kind of lanyard to hang on to these guys. And then on the bottom next to the charging port there are speakers for playing different sounds. So a little chirp will now play anytime you plug in the AirPods, connect them to a device, or put the wrong pair of AirPods into the case. And these speakers can also be used in the Find My app to play a sound to find your AirPods if you've lost them.
So both these features are intended to keep you from losing your AirPods, one of them to keep them with you, the other one to actually help you find them. And these are some useful additions. They do add to the weight of the case a little bit. I wouldn't personally notice it if I didn't have the Gen 1s to compare them to.
Now the other main difference between the Gen 1s and the Gen 2s is on the actual AirPods themselves. So you'll notice there is an extra little black dot here on the actual earbud. And at first I thought they had added an extra microphone cutout, but they actually separated the in-ear detection and the active noise canceling microphone, probably for better recording for noise cancellation. But beyond those little differences, there's not really much that would differentiate these guys from the Gen 1s. And that extends to actually using the Gen 2 AirPods as well. Now, of course, the best experience for the AirPods Pro is on Apple devices, and we still have all of the same features that were on the Gen 1s. We have in-ear detection and auto pausing, wireless charging on the case, now with Apple Watch charger support, and we still have the touch gestures on the wingtip of the AirPods. With this generation, however, we can now change the volume as well.
So you can swipe up and down on the wingtip to adjust the volume level, and this can take some getting used to. The best way I can describe it is kind of like petting your AirPod.
Because if you press too hard, you'll pause the music, and if you just touch it, it won't actually do anything. So you kind of have to caress or pet your AirPod to actually get that volume to go up and down. And like I said, it can take some getting used to.
When the AirPods are in your ear, they have pretty much the same feel as the Gen 1s. So for me, it's extremely comfortable using these guys. I never feel like these are going to fall out, even when I'm like running or doing exercise. They always feel like they're secure in here. Now, if the Gen 1s didn't quite fit you and you had some issues fitting those in your ears, the Gen 2s actually do come with some more features for getting the AirPods to fit better into your ears.
You get an extra ear tip size in the box, so we now have large, medium, small, and now extra small. And if you have an iPhone, you can use the AirPods fit test to see how well the ear tips are sealing for noise cancellation. Apple quotes 6 hours of listening time on the Gen 2s, and the new case can recharge them for 30 hours of listening time and 24 hours of talk time. Now, I personally never listened to music for 6 hours straight, so they never ran out of battery or really got low while I was using them. Even if you're the kind of person who's listening to music all day or always answering calls, these should last you as long as you're putting them in the case throughout the day. Now, the big new feature for the second gen AirPods, and the thing that a lot of people are talking about, is the improved noise cancellation and transparency modes.
And I can say that comparing these to the Gen 1s back to back, there is a noticeable improvement in both of those modes. The noise cancellation just overall does a better job of blocking out all noise,
but I feel like it does an especially good job of blocking out lower frequency sounds. The AirPods Pro have always done a really good job of blocking out high frequency consistent sounds like an air conditioner or lawnmower or a leaf blower, but the Gen 2s do a really good job of blocking out lower frequency sounds as well, like an engine running or a plane flying overhead. I feel like a lot of people give the AirPods credit for blocking out background noise and creating an isolated bubble of quiet, and the Gen 2s definitely deserve that credit.
But what I'm really impressed by is actually how well it lowers louder sounds around you. So if you're in a room where there's a lot of loud noise, it actually does a really good job of lowering that to a point where it becomes background noise.
For example, I was in a room with a very loud TV recently that was distracting me while I was working. I could hear everything very clearly. In fact, it was actually annoying how loud it was. But with the Gen 2 AirPods in my ears, it actually reduced that noise to the point where I couldn't even understand what was going on the TV.
I could still hear it, and it was still background noise, but it became to the point where it was not a distraction for me, and it lowered it so that it wasn't really even noticeable.
This is once again something the Gen 1s could do, but the Gen 2s just do it better, which is kind of a running theme in this video.
Now, along with the noise canceling mode, you also have the transparency mode if you still want to hear stuff going on around you. And once again, this is better than the Gen 1s and really the best transparency mode on any pair of earbuds I've ever experienced.
The microphones do an amazing job of picking up and playing back very quiet sounds without making making them sound too distorted. I can hear voices extremely clearly, and I can walk around in environments where I need to hear things while still listening to music.
A lot of people have compared it to having like a soundtrack for your life, which it definitely feels like. These do such a good job of layering the sound, the music, the audiobook, the podcast, or whatever you're listening to on top of the sound that's going on around you.
It feels like it's just part of what you're listening to, like it's a speaker at the store that's playing or a car radio you're listening to. Just music that is part of the environment you're in.
The new transparency mode also does come with the feature of lowering sounds that are over a dangerous level for your hearing. So any sound over 85 decibels can damage your hearing if you are exposed to it for a prolonged period of time, and the AirPods can recognize sounds that are louder than that, for example, an ambulance siren blaring or a jackhammer or a gunshot or an explosion, and it'll reduce that to the point where it's actually safe for your ears, but you can still hear it.
I noticed it especially with planes flying overhead since I live near an airport. Every time a plane went over, it sounded a little quieter than normal thanks to that noise reduction.
And although these aren't like rated for safety or for medical purposes, it feels like you could use these in a loud environment to protect your hearing. For example, if you're at a concert or at a work site where there are a lot of loud, dangerous noises, this can reduce it to the point where you can still hear it, but it's safe for your hearing, which is awesome.
Now, aside from those amazing audio features, the actual sound quality you get out of the AirPods is also really great.
It sounds very similar to the Gen 1s, so there's a fullness to the audio, and it sounds like you have something much larger than just a little earbud in your ear. It actually sounds like you have a pair of over-ear headphones with the fullness you get from the audio.
The bass has a decent amount of punch to it, and it once again sounds larger than the actual device in your ear. Highs and lows are both really good, and it's just an overall premium audio experience you get from these guys.
Now, the big question for a lot of people is, are these guys worth the upgrade? Now, I upgraded from the AirPods Pro Gen 1 to the Gen 2s, but that was because I was giving my Gen 1s away. And while I'm definitely happy with these guys and I'm glad I upgraded, I personally would not upgrade to these if I already had the AirPods Pro Gen 1.
Sure, these are better than the Gen 1s, and they provide, in my opinion, the best noise canceling, transparency mode, and audio quality in a pair of earbuds right now. But the AirPods Pro were that before, and these are just a marginal upgrade from that.
So if you want the best possible pair of earbuds on the market right now and you have $250 burning a hole in your pocket, go ahead, upgrade to these. They're the best right now. But if you already have the Gen 1s, I would stick with those. Now, if you have an older pair of AirPods, like a standard Gen 1, Gen 2, or even Gen 3, I would definitely consider upgrading to the AirPods Pro. These are, like I mentioned, the best earbuds on the market right now. And if you upgrade to these, you're going to get the best possible AirPods experience. And if you don't have AirPods at all, well, it's a no-brainer. You go with these guys. These are the best on the market right now. What else can I say? They're the best. I'm an Android user, and I still think these are the best pair of earbuds, even for Android. I feel like even if you have an Android phone, getting these would still be worth the money because of how good they are at canceling out noise, giving you that transparency mode, and just the overall audio quality, which is basically just as good on Android as on an Apple device. So go with these guys. They get my thumbs up. They're the best pair of earbuds on the market right now, in my opinion, and you really can't go wrong with a pair of AirPods Pro Gen 2. Other than that, that pretty much does it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like. If you love my content, be sure to subscribe and let me know what other reviews you'd like to see in the future. Other than that, thank you for watching, and be sure to have a wonderful rest of your day.